So there are some friends who'd be like, you're doing that, which means your work sucks. There is a growing creator economy. Your metrics for success and what is like a good life is quite limited to the industry you work in or live in. Hi, hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be filming today's video. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the coffee I had earlier. I don't know if it's the fact that I had a recent health scare, which I did, and that is making me really grateful to be able to turn on the camera and start filming, or even just in a meta sense, the fact that I am really excited to press record, especially on the topic of today's video of just how YouTube has changed my life and just changed my relationship with myself, the community I found, and even my relationship with others and just the skills I've obtained. The me filming from 1 or 2 years ago would have probably been more nervous. I'm sure you know what the feeling is like, right? There's a lot of self-doubt and fear, like what am I doing? It's just so awkward and terrifying. And I'm doing everything from setting up a camera and pressing record. There's a whole preparation process to it before you stop all over again and then decide to try this another day. But at the same time, kind of amidst all of that self-doubt and fear of judgment, fear of ridicule, there's also that itch I just could not get rid of. That desire for self-expression, the curiosity of what happened if I explore my creativity more? What happens if I put it out there? What would change? And it's just a constant itch of what if. And in today's video, I really wanted to help paint that picture for you, what the life beyond the self-doubt and the fears looks like. I'm going to be breaking it up into 3 parts. It'll be on self-development and self-discovery. Number 2 is community, and number 3, professional growth. So when it came to uploading, there was definitely a fear of what other people think. And my answer to that is why do we even need to tell other people if we did or did not start a YouTube channel? It's kind of like when you were a kid, you started drawing just because you wanted to draw. So why can't you just start making videos because you wanted to make videos? And why do you have to need to tell anyone about it? You usually just do it at home. And I don't know if it's because we've been conditioned with social media over time that we just want to share so much of our life. And I do understand the appeal of I made this thing, I want to show someone, except it sucks if that person just goes that's nice. Which means your work sucks. I mean, the thing is, most of our videos are always going to suck in the beginning, so just admit that it's already bad. But that's kind of very fun because in the beginning you get to learn a lot and grow a lot. And so with each video, I stopped focusing on how it's going to turn out, and I cared more about what skills that I was obtaining. So with every video, I always try to improve it by 1% somehow, some way. And that made it a lot more fun for me. It also gave me a lot more confidence. I started to get more creative. My goal was to create and produce more than consume. The best way I can describe it, which I described in the social media detox video I did before, which is imagine you're scrolling on the explore page of Instagram and you click on something that interests you. That is more like passive curiosity because the Instagram algorithm is just showing something they think you might like, or they're just trying to market something to you, versus when you're out and about in the world, you'll notice oh, I really like the floral cover of this book, and maybe I might take a picture of it, and I'm oh, I really like this music really reminds me of this and gave me this idea to do this. And it helps cultivate your relationship with yourself, having this form of creative expression or this creative outlet, and you kind of have fun getting to know little avatar that is you that you can keep changing and exploring with. And that really helped me with my sense of self. Talking your thoughts out more, writing helps sharpen your mind better and describing your ideas, and it's just been an amazing experience in that sense, which led me to eventually start to finally identify as being a creative. I think for the longest time I did not identify as a creative because as the child of immigrant parents, my priority growing up was to focus on getting good grades, to go to a good university, to then get a good job, and then make my parents' sacrifice worth it. I knew I was a creative as a child, but I didn't explore it that much. And what's surprising is now I'm in a place where I can explore my creativity more, but I found out that there was a lot of inner narrative that talked me out of pursuing my creative interests, and it felt very vulnerable and very awkward. And that's probably why I know there's some creatives who that's what they do in their life and they just put their work out and it's great. But for me, you'll find in my channel actually that I would start making some videos, then stop, then start, then stop. And it's not that I didn't like making videos. I absolutely loved and enjoyed making them, but that I was just stopping myself essentially. But going back to the topic of eventually finally identifying as a creative, is that once I did that, I actually felt more comfortable putting my work out there online, and my whole world shifted. One moment I was just a quiet closet creative in my room alone all the time, and once I put it out there for my friends to see, So I kind of like uploaded on social media my writings and things like that. You'll be surprised with what happens socially. So there are some friends who'd be like, you're doing that? And then in that case, those people kind of gradually weed themselves out of your life. And there's some lurkers who are just like, interesting. And then there's like fans that come out of nowhere, like, yo, I love your stuff. I'm like, no way. And also because I do put out some personal content, that I think one of the most amazing experiences is being able to connect with other people who resonate with your work as well. And also you end up connecting with your friends more, because sometimes you'll have these thoughts and you didn't know that you were the only one that had them, and people would like message you like, hey, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. And I'm like, no way. And so we start connecting more, and there'll be a lot of like secondary, third, like acquaintance friends, not super close friends, but not super like far that I don't know them, where they actually are also doing some creative work, or they're a creator, and it's kind of hard to find creators far and in between. So when you find someone, you're like, hey, and you start connecting together and you start making more creator friends. And I'm like, wow, there's a whole other world out there. I feel like I've just been fulfilling a part of my identity that I didn't explore enough before, or I didn't give myself the permission to explore as much before. Which now leads me to an interesting thing, is that once you start talking with these creators more and you kind of enter the creative space, you start to discover something called the creator economy. And that has just opened me up to a whole new industry altogether. I know people talk about like YouTube potentially being saturated if you're like maybe just talking about uploading videos, and maybe the AdSense might not be worth it or things like that. But what people don't think about, if you kind of take a step back and look at the bigger picture, is that there is a growing creator economy, and you don't know what's going on in it until you are in the industry itself. You'll discover a lot of people doing some amazing work. For example, maybe instead of growing a YouTube channel, you can provide services to YouTubers. There are a lot of larger YouTubers who are looking for video editors, thumbnail designers, even script writers. Can you believe it? There's people who need script. This is literally becoming like a whole media production. So you can literally create a mini media production business to satisfy other people's media production needs. Similarly, there's tech software being created like TriCarrot, where they're trying to help simplify accounting and pain points a lot of creators have with bookkeeping. Similar to that is even there are businesses, online businesses, who they are more business type. They're not the creative type. They don't have time to learn video editing and things like that. So they hire people like you to do it for them. And so no matter what, even whether or not your YouTube channel grows, if you are in the mindset of wanting to hone your craft and get better at the skills, these skills are totally invaluable for the upcoming future. Because if you want to market and put your business out there and let people know that you exist, they need video content. And not even video content. Let's say you can make talent agencies. There's online content creator talent agencies nowadays. Or maybe you work in law. Like for example, Erica Kohlberg is not really a YouTuber. She's actually a businesswoman who uses YouTube to funnel to her business, and her main business either being related to personal finance or helping businesses open up their LLC and whatnot. There has also been new things where, you know how like generally there used to be like a celebrity like Michael Jordan, and then Nike would make a product specific for him and he would market that product to people. Well, similarly, let's say you are not interested in being a YouTuber, but you can be a business person who reaches out to YouTubers and say, hey, I can create a product for you. This is similar to how like Graham Stephan, there was a guy who was like, I can help you make a coffee business. I'll do the business side, you do the like front end people side and marketing and things like that. And they balance it out. And then you go to the next level where there's some YouTubers who are now being able to make enough money, and then they crowdfund that money, or they become angel investors, or they create venture capitalist funds to then fund the media productions. So now a lot of these YouTube videos are not like one person things. They're actually like full productions of like 2, 3, 4 people. And you can see this in general. So anything is possible. The sky's the limit. It's constantly evolving like insanely. But without a doubt, even with me, like with 1,000 subscribers, the fact that people know I can make decently good videos with, you know, an understanding of sound design, understanding of music and cinematography, that they're actually reaching out to me to help maybe edit their videos or give them some guidance on some things. And the thing that just blows my mind is there's just no way I would have known how vast this industry could be unless I like joined that industry itself. And if you're like me, where you kind of ideate and think a lot about what you want to do, but you don't actually go do the thing, and then you're wondering why your life is not changing much because you're constantly just procrastinatingly doing everything except the action of actually filming and uploading and moving forward with your life. is I love this quote from Theodore Roosevelt called "The Man in the Arena," which I will read. "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." And what that means is, for example, let's say you're a spectator, but you really want to get into entrepreneurship and you're always watching videos about it, you're reading about it, but you're not doing the action, right? And you don't know where to find entrepreneurs to ask them more questions where the videos just don't cut it anymore. In that case, you literally have to just go do the thing. Be an entrepreneur, put out a business idea and try it. You'll meet other people who are starting businesses too, because then you guys have something to talk about and they see your work. And when you see your work, that you see their work, you guys are in the arena. And the thing is, the people who are in the arena will never make fun of you for what you're trying to do. So why does the opinions of like other people matter if they're not in the arena? Similarly, let's say you admire creators so much, but for some reason you're like, where are they? For some reason you can't really find them. Like, I don't know. I always keep hearing about them. I always keep seeing them, but I'm never like around them until I just started to put out my work. And then I started to make more friends with creators. So that's kind of how the cycle works. And there's always that weird transition period of being alone as you transition into that kind of identity and space, and you put your work out there for people to be able to then connect to your work. And if there's anything I learned about working in different industries, whether it be nonprofit, whether it be tech or education or e-commerce, is that your sense of reality and like your metrics for success and what is like a good life is quite limited to the industry you work in or live in. So for example, I have a friend who's in investment banking. He inherently believes that people are born evil, versus if you talk to anyone in nonprofit, they will say that people are born inherently good. Whether that's right or wrong, what's the right answer? I don't know. But that really helped me internalize that you can create your own sense of reality. And right now for me, it's being a part of the creative space, which has been very fulfilling for me personally. So you can ultimately reshape and remake your reality. All this to say is go out there, go film, upload a video on your YouTube channel, and join the arena. You will not regret it one bit. That being said, there are definitely challenges after uploading your first couple of YouTube videos, overcoming the frustrations of the learning curve and how to separate yourself from performance metrics. I have developed a lot of good mental tips and tricks to dealing with those things. So if that's something you're interested in, then please click subscribe below, because I'd love to make a video solely related to that. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye.